What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Cowboys Corner. This is Talking Crazy, Week 1 special edition. If you guys are in here, hit the like button for me. I'm going to post a link in the comment section. Get that going here and see if any of the homies want to come in. And let's talk about this, guys. All right. Right there. There it is. There it is right there. Mike, what's going on, guys? Alan, let's go. The best moderator in the game, Brando. All right, guys. Hey, it's been a long time since I've been live right here on Cowboys Corner. All right. Been pretty crazy. A lot has happened in the personal life. As you can see, I'm in a new setup. We bought the house April 28th, and I've done a few lives here already. So, but hey, it's finally done. That's the best part. Is that it's ours, you know. But no, Cowboys Eagles Week 1, guys. Look, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be really crazy. Hope everyone's having a good month. Hope everyone had a good Monday. It's almost over. Let's see. Let me get this. I'm trying to get this done. What was y'all's reaction in the comments? Week 1, Cowboys. Raven 76 B more. Salute passing through and dropping a like on the video. Peace out. Hey, appreciate that, big dog. I appreciate that. I always appreciate the like. It definitely helps out the stream. He did a like buy. No, he didn't do a drive by. He did a like buy. And that's okay. We'll take it. We like buys. There we go. There we go. Woo! Here we go. Yes. ECW legend passed away. Very sad news. Very sad news, but guys, it's on. Cowboys, Eagles, Week 1. Look, we could talk about how bad the Eagles beat us last year, and we could do all the other stuff. It's just one of those things where it's a new year. It's a new year. Yes, they're coming off the Super Bowl win. They are. Give them their props. It is what it is. Cowboys with the rookie head coach. New offensive coordinator. Matt Eberflus, new defensive coordinator. Week 1. All right. Let me get this link here. Share it to the friends. See if anybody wants to come in. Give me 1 second here. But if not, it's all right too. That's all right too. We will beat the Eagles this time. You dang right. I'm tired of playing these games, man. It's time for us to shut these dudes up. We'll be fully healthy as long as training camp works out. They'll be fully healthy as long as their training camp can work out and they can stay healthy and things. I just need the Dallas Cowboys to stay healthy this training camp. Too many injuries last year. Way too many injuries. As you guys know, I'm getting the link shared out now. Give me 1 second here. Getting out to the friends and the Padres, stuff like that. Give me 1 second. I don't know what Savage is going to do. You guys click like for me as I work through this here. Oh, Cowboys champs. Got to get him. Oh, uncensored too. See if uncensored would come in. All right. I think I got all the links sent that I need to send. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But guys, look. Cowboys Eagles Week 1. All right. Let's look up some stuff here. September 4th, 7:20 p.m. Lincoln Financial Field. Week 1, y'all. Schedule should be dropping, I think, Wednesday. We got 2 more days till the official schedule comes out. Kellen Moore has the 3 worst off seasons so far because the quarterback retired. All right, Kellen Moore chose that job. Nobody wanted that Saints job. There's maybe Kellen just got super happy that he got the opportunity and was able to coach coach a football team. So maybe that's why Kellen took it on. But Kellen knew what he was getting into. Everybody and their mother knew that Brandon Carr was hurt. So there's no excuse for Kellen Moore. They drafted a couple of quarterbacks. We'll see how that plays out for them. They got a quarterback competition over there. What can Kellen Moore do for the Saints? All right. Because they got a lot of work to do over there. They do. They got a lot of work to do over there. But guys, look, Cowboys, Eagles. Let's see. Cowboys set to open against the Eagles. What's the history when we open it up? Oh, there's Uncensored right there. Bam. Uncensored.
What's up, brother?
Hey, not a whole lot. What was your reaction hearing that the Cowboys are doing the season opener with them stank Eagles?
And that they're going to start off 0-1.
Say that again?
That they're going to start off 0-1.
No, sir.
That was my initial reaction, but
it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a better game than we anticipate.
I don't think it's gonna be a 7-35 blowout that we got last year, but I think it's gonna be a lot more competitive than that. But I don't know if they closed the gap that much yet. I reserve the right to change my opinion based off of the preseason.
Yeah, don't flip flop. That's against the rules.
Only on fifth quarter channel.
I guess so. But dude, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for week 1, dude. You know, the big rivalry. This is the city. This is the team. I know there's bigger rivalries with the 49ers. I know there's bigger rivalries with the Commanders and that bunch. But Philly coming in, you know, let's spoil their Super Bowl banner. You know, let's spoil that for them. Let the fans leave pissed. Because what have we been hearing the last 4 months, dude? Dallas sucks. They can't keep the name out their mouth, bro.
Yeah.
So why can't we go in there and why can't we go tear some shit up?
I would love to play spoiler because fuck the Eagles, but me being honest, I don't think they're gonna do it. But I would love, you know, I don't know who made the schedule, but do they want to put Dallas on there so they can shit on Dallas and celebrate their Super Bowl at the same time, or?
Well, this is about ratings, man. You know, there's going to be the most watched game of the year.
Oh yeah,
of the year, that's week 1, game 1.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is it the Thursday night game that kicks off the season, or is it just the week?
It's the season opener, week 1.
Oh Lord.
September 4th, 7:20 p.m.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have all eyes.
Oh yeah,
all eyes. Hey, listen, I would love for them to win.
This is going to be bigger than 2012 season opener against the Giants. Remember that game when?
Yeah, I remember
that. Had the ruptured spleen, came in there. We got the momentum, and we whooped them. I think Kevin Ogletree showed out that game. Then you got to remember the Bucks. You know, we played them the first game with their little Super Bowl banner thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, we barely got beat there, but we got beat.
Yeah, that was the Michael Parsons game, wasn't it? Where he called out Tom Brady and got 2 sacks or something like that.
Yes, he did. And you know, this is what the NFL does. Cowboys are known to open up seasons against the Super Bowl guys. It happens every once in a while, you know, but it does happen. Eshawn in the house. What up, Eshawn?
What's happening with your corner, man? What's going on, guys?
What's good, Eshawn?
It's the reaction. Week 1, Cowboys, Eagles.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a tough one. This is in Philly, right? I think so.
Yep. It's week 1. It's their banner hanging ceremony.
Yeah, man. I hate the Eagles with the intensity of 1,000 suns, but I think we all hate the Eagles. But my instant reaction, man, is gonna be a tough one, man. I hope we can beat them, but it's gonna be a tough game. Tough game. So
Yeah,
let's see. I
I'd
think it's
rather
gonna.
play Philly and Philly early in the season than late.
That's fair. I think that's fair. I think it's first games for me are always tone setters, man. So like, you know what? I think it's. I don't want to judge the team too early, but it's gonna say a lot about to me about the progression or lack thereof for the rest of the season. So that's kind of generally what I think about it. It's going to be a fun game to watch. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is. Let's look at the 2025 Cowboys opponents, all right? Let's see how the NFL can really hurt the Cowboys, right? Because we got the Eagles. I think that's going to be a bruiser game. I think it's going to be physical.
I agree.
I think people are going to leave with some year-long bruises after this game, right? So how can the NFL screw it up? Do they give them 2 back-to-back road games, all right? So let's look at this. So we know we got the Eagles. Could we turn around, play the Eagles at home, then turn around and play in Mile High week 2 against the Broncos in that high altitude?
That's going to be tough, man. That would be horrible. that would be a big-time problem.
Or,
can we get the Jets after?
Honestly.
Right. Can we get the Jets or the Panthers week 2? Or how else then you could also screw it up. All right. We go to the Eagles, play the Eagles, then we go to Detroit and go play Detroit. I think those are the 2 worst scenarios for the Cowboys to start the season. 2 games on the road, and the games are going to be physical. What do y'all guys think?
I agree. I mean, if we're going from Philly to Mile High, that's going to be I think that'll be. I mean, obviously the Broncos are not. I mean, we don't know how they're going to play, but just in terms of atmosphere and altitude, the altitude, obviously Mile High, but that's going to be a tough one. If that's the back-to-back like that, I agree. That's not going to be.
What about you, Spencer?
Yeah, Denver's always going to be tough just because of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
What's our overall record against Denver?
We're. I don't know. I have to look that up. Why?
I'm looking
Savage,
it up
what's
right
up,
now.
dude?
What's up, Savage?
What's up?
What was your instant reaction hearing Cowboys Eagles week 1?
That they're like trolling us, man. They're trying to say like, no, it's like, like, well, our last game in Texas Stadium, Jerry we played the Ravens because the Ravens had a bad year before that, and so they were just looking at the Ravens as an easy win. And for the entire season, Rex Ryan was pounding that into the Ravens' head. And they went into Texas Stadium and they beat us. So, like, listen, I don't think they just threw a bunch of balls and a thing and said, oh, it's going to be Dallas and Philly. It's going to be primetime match. They want to drop the banner on us, and they just want to stick it to us, man. And I'm not happy with that, man. It's just like, I hope I'm wrong, but I just think we're going to learn a lot about our team week 1.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't beat Denver since 1995.
Jesus Christ, really? It doesn't surprise me. I mean, last time I remember, when was the last time we did play the Broncos?
We played the Broncos
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
September 10th, 1995, 31-21 win.
Man,
I remember we scrimmaged them. I think it might have been last year or 2 years ago when Neville Gallimore was puking on the side.
No, yeah, that's always a tough place to play, man. So
yeah, especially second game of the year.
Oh man, yeah.
But Savage, we were pivoting after that topic about what your reaction to that game. We were pivoting to how can the NFL screw the Cowboys, and when we were looking at 2 scenarios where they could give us 2 road games back to back. And one of the scenarios was Eagles at their place, the Lions at their place, or the Broncos at their place. Mm-hmm. Which one would be more brutal for this NFL schedule for you?
The first option was what?
Lions in Michigan.
I think physically the Lions would beat us up more. I Denver could go 50-50, could go either way, but I think the Lions are a much, much more physical team, and we would take a bad pounding versus them. And listen, man, I've said this before. Al Davis and Jerry Jones have been the only people to ever sue the NFL and win, And ever since that happened, we never. Let's be honest, and that's not being a crybaby. It's not saying, we never even get a call on the games, bro. We get calls against us.
Yeah.
We never, we have to go and beat a team by 14 points. Because it's a close game, the refs are going to beat us, man. And that's not being, that's just being truthful, man. But, yeah, it does.
100%. We got a super chat here from Mike Ballarat. He said, Cowboys versus Eagles is my favorite rivalry. I'm glad this is the week 1 matchup because if we win, it gives us a lot of momentum for the weeks after. Eshawn, what do you think about that super chat there?
I do agree that if we win, it'll give us momentum, but just obviously based off of the fact that, it's a rivalry, of course, but then there's reigning defending Super Bowl champions. So I agree in that respect of things. As far as me being glad that it's the week 1 opponent, it can go either way for me, man. On one hand, of things if we lose, I agree with you that it's going to be a tough game. The physicality that you were talking about, I definitely agree with that. So I think it could go either way. Am I glad that we're facing them? I can't say I am, but I also can't say I'm not. I can see both sides of it. That's kind of. But if we do win, then
hold on. There we go.
I know, but I was just saying if we do win, then I do agree it'll give us momentum.
Okay. So what do you think about that super chat?
I just wanted to be competitive, man.
I agree.
Because we were not competitive last year in those games.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So if they could be competitive, make it a close game, even if Philly pulls it out at the end or Cowboys pull it at the end, it's going to be a good sign of the changes that's been made during the offseason.
I agree. But no, yeah, I really want to see how we come out, man. I think it's going to say, especially since we have a complete new slate with the coaching staffs and everything. I think I'm very curious to see what Schottenheimer does. Now, granted, again, it's the first game of the season, but I'm very, very big on the first opening games, man. So let's see how it plays out, I guess. But
yeah, savage. What do you got to say about that? Cowboys and Eagles are Mike's favorite rivalry. He's glad for this matchup of week 1 because if the Cowboys win this, a lot of momentum in the weeks after. What do you think, Savage?
No, definitely would be a lot of momentum. The only thing that scares me is it just seems like, man, for the last 10 years, if not more, Dallas always starts. It doesn't matter who the coach is. It just seems like we start the season off slow.
Yeah.
It just seems. Maybe I could be wrong, but it just seems like it takes about 3-4 games before we even have our legs underneath us. Like it seems like it takes 3 to 4 games before we're in football shape, if that makes sense.
Especially against the good teams, it's always, we always struggle in opening. I do agree with that. So.
No, Mike, I like your point here, and I like the rivalry. My top 3 rivalries are the Niners, the Commanders, and the Eagles. Those are my top 3 rivalries. 49ers being number 1. Can't stand those fans. Can't stand any of the 3 fans I just mentioned. I can tolerate some Commander fans just because, they really don't – they have nothing to gloat about, right?
Right.
Except the NFC Championship game appearance last year. That's the only thing. But I was talking to a Commanders fan yesterday, one of my good buddies, for an hour yesterday talking football. And not once did he say we went to the NFC Championship game and you didn't. Why? Because that's not an award. A Super Bowl is the award. So,
right.
But no, I'm with you there, Mike, 100%. We got 1980 in the house. Mike, thank you so much for that super chat. So, Savage brought up a good point, guys. It appears that the Cowboys start off slow, right? So, boiling it down, and I'll start with you, Savage, because you brought up this point. Should the Cowboys starters play preseason games?
I'm okay with this. So what? We're down to 3 preseason games, right? It's 3
right
now.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the second preseason game. Our starters playing a half. I'm okay with, because that's how it used to be back in the day. They never played a full game, but you saw back in the day it was 4 preseason games, but you saw the starters for at least 2 quarters of football. I'm okay. And it seems like other teams do it in the NFL today. So I just don't see why listen. Evidently, what the Joneses have been doing is not working. I mean, besides them making billions, that's working. But on the football field, it's not working. So got to get sharp. I mean, how long did we take for CD and Dak to get on the same page? It seemed like it took like 4 or 5 games. Like seems like Dak was hurt already, pretty much by the time like they were really getting humming. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. Eshaun, what do you think? Should Cowboy starters or projected starters, right? Because they got to go through the training camp stuff.
Yeah.
Mike, I will say this real quick. Mike McCarthy's strategy was we're going to practice hard at training camp. We're going to bring all these teams in to do joint practices and stuff, and that's our preseason game for our starters. Obviously, it didn't work because to Savage's point, we did start off slow. So, Savage, should the starters play in the preseason, or should Brian Schottenheimer take the Mike McCarthy playbook and do joint practices?
No, I do think that they no, I do think we should play the starters in the preseason, if for at least a quarter. But my whole thing is, what should they do? What will they do? Right? I think that's ultimately what it is for me. So like, should they? Yes. Will they? I doubt it, man. Now again, I might be wrong about that. But I don't see them like a Dak Prescott or like any of these stars. I don't see them playing in the preseason. I agree with AD's comment on the stream, and that's ultimately where I am with it. It's like, when was the last time that we really did play our starters in a preseason game? When was the last time we played our starters in a preseason game?
Tony Romo, 2014, or Tony Romo, 2016.
I was just going to say that.
2016. So 2016, but 2016 was how long ago, man? You know what I'm saying?
9 years
ago.
9 years.
You know what I mean? So 9 years since we played a starter in a preseason game. Now it may be different this time with the new head coach that is on any aspect of this team, but I don't see why all of a sudden this time it would be different. So now I hope I'm wrong about that, and I hope they get some time, because I am a believer in the preseason to get your rhythm, especially for the key positions like quarterbacks and offensive linemen and things like that. But I don't know, man. I just don't see that being something that they would actually do. But should they? Yes, I think so.
Okay. Uncensored. Having said all that, do you think the Cowboys should play preseason games? But here's a twist for you. If they do play the preseason game, how many series per game should they play, or do they just play the week 3 preseason game?
I give them one or two series depending on how they play in the first preseason game. I do 1/4 of the second and a half on the third is what I would go for, because you're instituting, quote unquote, a new offense, new first time head coach.
Yeah,
you got you got a lot of turnover, and they got to get into the rhythm with play calling and the flow of the game and stuff like that. They need time, otherwise they're gonna be figuring it out on week 1.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure.
I don't want another head coach that can't even call timeouts at the right spot.
Yeah. Especially, I think, since we have a new head coach, I think it's even more we should, because of that, just to get some sort of rhythm. Even if he doesn't show us plays or whatever, since it's a completely new regime, I just don't want to go through the first four games to figure stuff out when it's a completely new, thing from top to bottom, from a coaching staff and a player standpoint. So no, I agree.
Yeah. The comment from 1980 says Dallas is too sissified to play their starters in any preseason games. So our first couple of games are like preseason games. 1,000% agree with that. Brando, the best moderator of the game, said Brian Schottenheimer should play some starters in each of the 3 preseason games. Cheesecake right here said, right there, bam, there it is. Can someone lend me their VCR so I can watch the last Cowboys Super Bowl? 1980 here said Emmett, Irvin, Aikman, Dion, etc. played in the preseason games.
Yeah.
And Cheesecake followed up with, honestly, I'm excited for the season opener. Bring it on. So when we're looking at this as a whole, all right, so we looked at the road games, guys, right? About, okay, the NFL can really screw us over with this. So let's say we play a big physical game. Now, what opponent would y'all want to see right after? Let's say the Cowboys, and uncensored, this is hard to say, project, but let's say the Cowboys beat the Philadelphia Eagles. What should the next opponent be for week 2 to sell you uncensored that, hey, if these guys play this and they win, I might be sold after these 2 games?
Maybe a Vikings or a Chargers game, because the Eagles are closer to the top. Vikings and Chargers are more towards the middle. I don't want them to go from the Eagles to the Jets or the Panthers, because that's going to give people a lot of false hope.
I agree.
But if you can come back and you can put up a good, like I said, even if they lose against the Eagles in the opener, but it's competitive, and then they can come out and win that second game against a decent playoff team from last year, I'd have a lot more confidence in how the season is going to go. If they start off like 1-3, 1-4, or something like that, there's going to be a lot of fingers saying Brian might be a 1-year head coach. There's going to be a lot of eyes looking and saying, did they make, because they already consider him a pushover.
Yeah.
So. What about you, Eshawn? What opponent? Let's say we beat the Eagles, right? What opponent do you want to see week 2 that says, hey, and the Cowboys? If the Cowboys beat this guy, I'm sold. Who would that be?
Yeah.
The season is optimistic.
No, yeah, it's a great question. I think for me, I think uncensored teams as far as like a Vikings or a Chargers, I think that's good. I'd also probably throw in like a Packers or a Lions, something around one of the better teams, I guess. I just don't want it to be a 2019 situation, where we start off the season. If you remember, in 2019 we played the Giants, the Dolphins, and at the time the Redskins, and we went 3-0, and then we won 5 games the rest of the season. That I don't want it to be that kind of a situation where we can't beat up on the good teams but get the false hope, like he was talking about. So I mean, in terms of an opponent that would prove to me, okay, this is a legitimate football team, I don't necessarily think we need to beat the Chiefs or something, one of the top teams, but a Chargers or a Viking, a legitimate team. I don't want to be beating on the bottom of the barrel Jets and shit and just get our hopes up only to lose to the better teams. So I think a Chargers or a Vikings is, I think, a fair 2 if that were to come into fruition. I would say that. Yeah.
Okay. Savage, same question for you. I'm not going to change it up. That's a straight up question. Let's say the Cowboys beat the Eagles. What team would give you confidence?
If we did beat them.
Yeah, if we did. Yep.
If we did win, I would want an upper tier opponent, because I wouldn't want that letdown. And let's see, because we'll always know there's 1 to 2 games a season where Dallas should have won, had the better team, and they shit the bed.
Yep.
So if we did beat the Philadelphia Eagles, I would want upper tier, give me Green Bay or Detroit, just so we don't, we got this and we relax now, and then we shit the bed the following week. Right. Keep the pressure on us.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I would, me personally, I would want the Packers at home at AT&T Stadium week 2. That we haven't beat the Packers there. Dak Prescott only beat the Packers in Green Bay his rookie year.
That's a good point.
The Packers at home. Can we beat them? The Cardinals. We haven't beat the Cardinals in years.
Man,
At home, Kyler Murray has never lost at AT&T Stadium, right? Yep. Can we give Kyler Murray his first L at AT&T? I would like that game. Now, you're thinking these are cheesecake wins. No pun intended for the guy in the comments section. No, this is those are real opponents that I would really want, because we haven't beat those guys in quite some time, or B, it's just our luck has turned the other way. Broncos, Cardinals, the Lions. I know we beat them at AT&T. Can we go beat them on their home turf week 2? Give me back-to-back road games. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I would rather have that. Real quick on the comments, before we go to the next one, and then I'll give you guys time to talk. We got Mike again. We're at $1.99. He said we might play the Chiefs. He heard. So there's that. 1980 said, where is 5th? I have no idea. Cheesecake said if y'all beat the Eagles, then face the Redskins, I'd be impressed. That's what his follow-up comment. Nate Dogg in there. He said, what's up, boys? No one's complaining about the refs, Cheesecake. Nobody at all.
I don't know who's complaining about the refs.
Got to factor in trap games. Okay, let's talk about the trap games real quick. Let's go down the list. Could the Panthers be a trap game?
I don't know about the Panthers. I mean, you never know. We lost the Jets one time when they were 0-4, so it could be. But I mean, shit, man. If the Panthers are a trap game, Lord have mercy.
What do you think, Sam?
I hate to say it, and I hate them. I can see the Giants.
Being a trap game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Legit.
That's fair.
I can see one of them.
What about you, Uncensored?
The Raiders game.
Raiders, I think, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Geno Smith beating the Cowboys over there with the Raiders?
That'd be crazy.
What about Justin Fields and the Jets?
Jets
they have a decent, solid defense. So I mean, I guess in that respect, maybe. But yeah, the Jets, I can see the Jets also being a trap game. Yeah.
Who's their new head coach? The defensive coordinator from the Lions last year, right?
I thought it was Alan Glenn. I thought.
Yeah, he was the
defensive coordinator from the Lions. What was his name?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I don't remember his name. But
Aaron Glenn went to Chicago, right?
I think Aaron Glenn went to Chicago. Yeah.
Jets have 3 good running backs.
No, Aaron Glenn is the defensive coordinator for the Bears that is now the Jets head coach.
Yeah, because Aaron Glenn used to be a Jet corner.
Yeah, but the offensive coordinator, what was his name?
Johnson.
Ben Carson or something?
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. Ben Carson's that doctor that was in politics. But no, what about the Bears? Caleb Williams and the Bears? Could that be a trap game there? Second year, they got him a good wide receiver over there. What do you think?
I could see that. Yeah.
They got to fix that. The Bears got to fix their own line. They did that with some picks in this draft, but they fixed that old line. I mean, listen, I don't think we've seen the best of Caleb Williams. You know what I'm trying to say?
Not by any stretch, I don't think. He was bad last year.
Yeah, so
but
it's hard.
4 years ago, guys, we played the AFC West, and the Chargers beat themselves. Let's be realistic. That was week 2. Chargers beat themselves. We got blown out by the Chiefs game. I think that was the first time we held Pat Mahomes to 19. The Chargers beat themselves. Didn't Derek Carr and the Raiders beat us?
We got embarrassed by Denver that year.
Yeah, we got embarrassed by Denver.
Oh, yes.
I think the Raiders beat us.
And that was the Anthony Brown pass interference season. Where he threw a deep 3 times on Anthony Brown.
Yeah, that was on Thanksgiving, I remember.
Yeah, we went 1-3 against the AFC West. So my question to you, Uncensored, is this the redemption revenge tour against those teams? Have they gotten better since the last 4 years? Have we gotten better in the last 4 years? Do you kind of see that type of record still 1-3, or do you see something better?
I think we go 2-2 against the AFC West.
Okay.
I think you could take the Raiders and the Chargers. I think the Chiefs have obviously gotten better over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to win in Denver. Obviously, we haven't beat them in 30 years.
Yeah.
Hey, history says if you beat Denver, you win the Super Bowl. So that's the last time we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Savage?
I mean, I don't think the AFC West is a cakewalk like it has been for the Chiefs. I think Denver's gotten better. I think the Chargers sneakily have gotten better.
Yeah.
Have we gotten better? It's hard to tell with what's on paper right now.
Yeah.
You know, with this young offensive line and young D-line, it's going to be hard to tell, because that one year when we went 1-3 against the AFC West, when Denver came out and rushed for like 300 yards on us, pretty much that's what everyone did after that. Everyone just ran the ball down our throats. You know?
Right.
We got fifth quarter Cowboys in the building. What up, Fifth?
What up?
Hey, right off the rip, dude, I want to know what your instant reaction was to the Week 1 leak Cowboys season opener against the Eagles.
Shoot, they're gonna be a lot of money from viewership. I know that.
Yeah.
But as far as the game itself, if everybody healthy, it should be a decent game. You got AJ Brown and Smitty versus CD and GP. I don't know if they're gonna try to play that game for just for the TV. Let the wide receiver do their thing, or Saquon. If our defense remains the way it is now, Saquon could have a big game. I don't know what the rookies will do against that front that Philly got. I don't know how good Schottenheimer is. Sean McVay, not Sean McVay, San Fran quarterback. I mean, head coach, one of the best coaches when it comes to scheming up running plays. He can run the ball from any which way. I don't know if Schottenheimer got that. It's good. It's gonna be TV, man. A big rivalry. You got Dak versus Hurts. Like I said, them 4 receivers, 2 fresh running backs versus Saquon. Everybody gonna be seeing, can Philly look like they did last year? I feel like the Cowboys don't do something else with the interior. Because I just still don't trust Mozzie. It's gonna be must see TV.
Yeah.
But as far as the game, I can't call it because I don't know what this team is gonna be. I don't know. I don't know what Philly gonna be, but I know what we're and what we were. You're only as good as what the last time we saw you. And the last time we saw Philly, they was champions. And the last time we saw us, we stunk it up. So I am hyped to see the receivers play on both ends just to see which duo look the best out there. So it's gonna be must see TV.
100%. Now, to follow up with that, because I asked the guys this too, I want to get your take on this, okay? Let's say, this is hypothetical, right? Let's say the Cowboys beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
What opponent do you want to see week 2 that says, okay, if the Cowboys can beat this opponent, I'm bought in for the year?
We got the Broncos this year.
We got the Broncos this year.
We got the Broncos this year, yeah.
And the Broncos an away game, so that's at Mile High.
That's at Mile High, yeah.
And beat them. The Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Even I know people probably gonna say, well, they ain't never really a really good team. They just always beat them.
Right.
So if we can beat Philly, then turn around and beat them at Mile High, because beating them at Mile High, their elevation, that's a different type of, that says a lot about it. So if we can beat them, then turn around and beat them. No, I take that back. You know what? If we can beat them, then turn around and beat Dan Quinn with their full roster, not backups.
Yeah.
If we can beat Dan Quinn in that defense, two NFC East back to back, I'll be.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Go ahead, Savage.
No, you gotta go through the East first before anybody. But I can deal with that, man. Listen, I hate the Redskins too. I hate Dan Quinn, but I'll be okay with that. Like I said, if we come off a win with Philly, I don't want a cupcake. I don't want a letdown game right off the bat. I want another top tier opponent.
Agreed.
And I'll be happy.
Yeah. No, it's so funny what fifth quarter said, because I brought up the Broncos, and I even mentioned, I don't want a cheesecake game or someone think it was that type of game, just because. But I was like, we haven't beat them, so me and Fifth on the same page there. Isha, what you got?
What was the question, man? Just remind me.
You're just rebuttaling or just elaborating?
Oh no, I think the Commanders one is that's a good one. I didn't even think about that. If we could beat Dan Quinn's defense, given like Fifth said, I just the last time we saw them, they made the NFC Championship game. So if we could do that, then I think that's also a good one. I would like that. I'm just like if it's Denver, if we could beat them in Mile High, that's because that's a tough place to play regardless, but especially since we haven't even beat the Broncos in God knows how long.
Yeah,
man, that's gonna be a tough one. But if we can do that, then I think it's gonna say a lot about the team. Good or bad, it's gonna say a lot. I think.
And I don't think it's just beating the Commanders and the Eagles will say a lot. It also says we got 2 division wins and they both got a loss already.
Right.
So it's kind kind of helps us 2 times. You know, it kind of solidified. Starting out your season, you didn't beat the Super Bowl champions, and like another was probably good as them, but they just had a rookie quarterback, and it was in Quinn's first year as their head coach. So it kind of says a lot if you can beat both of those, the champions, and another team that was kind of just Dan Quinn just made look good. So 2 divisional wins in your conference, and then they got a loss, the Eagles and the Commanders. So you're already ahead in your division already with 2 wins. Yeah. So it's not beating if you can beat those 2 back to back.
Agreed.
All right, I'm back now. So I couldn't hear y'all. I'm deaf in one ear, so it's hard for me to hear. I gotta get my headphones. All right, who were you done talking?
Yeah.
Okay, Uncensored, what do you think, man? Uncensored.
What's the question?
You're just elaborating. Break it down. Were you not paying attention?
I was slightly paying attention. I was dealing with something at the same time.
No, you're good. You're good. So no, we'll just move it on. We got a super chat here by Mike. How many games do you see us winning, guys? I think we'll do that towards the end of the show, Mike. I think we'll do that at the end of the show. But,
that's $1 million question. That's $1 million
question.
That's
definitely. Right, and this guy's saying Cowboy fans delusional. He's already put in a couple of comments in the comment section, and he's still here listening to the delusions. All right.
I think every fan base has a little delusion in them.
Yeah. Who doesn't want their team to win?
It's literally, you're called a fanatic.
Yeah, we'll get back to it, Mike, for sure.
Fan is short for fanatic. There's delusion in every fan base.
Yo, I ain't seen Jonah in so long. So high.
So, you don't see who?
No, I haven't seen Sohan in so long.
Oh yeah. So how many teams on our schedule? Let's look. We haven't beaten in years. The list: Broncos, Packers, Cardinals, Chiefs. We beat the Chiefs in what? 2018 at AT&T.
2018.
It was Pat Mahomes' rookie year. Alex Smith was the starter.
Is that
28-17?
That year when Sean Lee got back there and got Kareem Hunt in the backfield.
That was the game. That was the year that Zeke got suspended. Immediately the next game after that, with the Falcons when he got suspended for the 6 games.
Oh, that was 2017.
It was 2017. It was.
Sean Lee made a good play. He got
Yeah,
dude. I just remember that they came out before the halftime and they did that trickery play and they scored before the halftime. I remember that play that year. That play right there. I was like, what the hell? We still won, but. It is what it is. So I think we beat the Chiefs plenty of times. It's just as of late, with them winning Super Bowls, it looks like we haven't. I think we only played them. This will be our 3rd time since Pat Mahomes been there. What do you think, Savage?
Like I said, I think Cleveland is broken down a little bit, especially along the offensive line. They did go out, got a good wide receiver, Jalen Royals. They did go out. They took Ohio State's left tackle, Josh Simmons. I'm not as high on him as a lot of other people was. He did have a serious knee injury like in October, November. Then they also took Rashad Smith, a really good running back, in round 7. And I honestly think he's going to push Pacheco to the bench. I'm going to be shocked if Rashad Smith is the starter. But those 2 guys, one's a wide receiver, one's a running back that got converted wide to receiver. And when you give those toys to a guy like Mahomes that plays schoolyard football, it can turn out to be scary.
Yeah.
But
we beat the Raiders. You forgot we beat the Raiders with Derek Carr threw that ball out the back of
the Jeff Heath play.
The Jeff Heath play. Derek Carr.
Remember, it was that the index card game.
Oh my God!
That ref was all cheesing and smiling.
Oh my God!
All he had.
That was crazy.
We got 80 and champ. Yeah.
What's happening?
We got Cowboys champs in the building. We got 1980 in the building. Cowboys champ. I'll start with you. Instant reaction. Week 1. Cowboys versus Eagles.
I hope they beat the. You know what, Adam? Sheagles. I want them to RKO their ass so damn bad.
Speaking of RKOs,
the old school The Rock spine buster their ass.
I can't stand the Eagles, man. I can't.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Cowboys champs wants a dub. 1980. You there? The Power Man himself.
What's going on, guys?
We
got all the jabronis on the mic tonight.
What's happening?
It's an important live, 80. You wanted this morning. You got it this morning.
Yeah, I said, man, this would be a good thing for y'all to go back and forth on. So
I could
yeah,
think
it's,
he coming.
You would
you said
think
what?
what?
So them
Somebody's.
put a gun to my head and made me come on.
Someone put a gun to his head, he said, and made him come on. What was your instant reaction, 80?
I didn't have one.
You didn't have a reaction. That was a trap.
God, what is that?
Is that
So
Champs?
somebody stole in the car.
Champs, is that you, crazy man?
Yeah, he muted. He muted.
All right.
Champs out there stealing people cars.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No,
look at it.
I didn't. I didn't have one. I my my approach my approach hasn't changed. I'm not gonna let it. I'm not gonna fall for it. Um, like I made a video earlier today. I talked about it a little bit. I don't know if y'all watched it or not.
I haven't yet. I'll watch it tonight.
But
I haven't yet. I'll watch it.
yeah, I have. I don't. My approach will not change. I won't allow Jerry to bait me in. He's baited me in for years, and I'm not going to do that this year. I'm going to be a spectator. I'm going to be that fly on the wall, and I'm going to wait and see what happens. My expectations are at a low, and they're going to stay there. I'm going to live by my words and die by my words. What I've been saying about it's going to take some time for this team to develop, and it's good for sales and ratings and stuff like that. That's all this is for. That's all it's about, pretty much. I like I say, it is what it is. We'll see. This will be a good opportunity, though. It will be a good opportunity to see where we stand against the Super Bowl champions. It's been a long time since we've hoisted that Lombardi Trophy, and it's been 30 years. So I don't know if anything's going to change. No, matter of fact, nothing's going to change overnight. We got a lot of young players. This is a brand new team. We're pretty much an expansion team. I look at this team as being an expansion team with the level of talent that we have. It's going to take time, and I'm going to be patient and wait it out. And hopefully the system, hopefully it'll work. Hopefully everything will fall in place. Hopefully Shotty Too Hotty is not an actor like all the other coaches have been. Hopefully he's not, Scooby-Doo, take the mask off, type guy. Yeah. So that's just where I'm at. I don't want to sound negative. I'm not being negative. I'm not a negative person. I think I'm being more realistic than anything. I have to be. I can't be any other way. I'm not going to get on here and do predictions and, we're going to do this and do that and get your feelings hurt, So it's the first game of the season. It's exciting. It's football. We all love football. We all love the sport first, but it'll be a good chance to really, really see, against the Super Bowl champions once again, to really see how good they think we really are. And to put us on the spot, put everybody on the spot. There's no more talking. There's no more debating. There's no more babysitting. The I think season, once they kick that ball off, the I think season is over with. It's over with. So now there's no more talking with us and all the other talking heads. Now, guess who does the talking? The pads do the talking.
Preach.
So now there's no more when I think, no. They gonna get out there. They got to do it. We can't babysit them no more. Everybody on this panel knows exactly what we need, what to do, has difference in opinions about those. But, we're all kind of going in the right direction. It might be a little different, but we're all headed. We're all in the right direction on what the direction this team should go in. And we've been that way for years. We've been doing this for years. Fifth corner. We've been doing this for years, man. Years. Yeah. I've been knowing y'all for years, over 10 years. Yeah. And I heard y'all talk about the 2017 CC. I think that was the infamous video. I said kick a 90-yard field goal.
It was.
So we've been, like Fitz say, we've been saying the same things since then. Those things, like Fitz say, those things apply today. So, why am I going to get on here and be like, oh, I can't wait? No, man. I'm going to stay here. I got the best seat in the house. Y'all can keep them ragged ass doors closed because I'm not going to walk through them. No, that's it. I don't want to keep going. My bad, man. But yeah, that's just I'm good. I'm just gonna watch it, man. And hell, I gotta get up and go to work the next fucking morning anyway. So I don't even know how long I can stay up.
No,
exactly. We got Emily Garcia here. She said the alarms are sounding for panic for week 1 against the Eagles. JK, good luck this season. Appreciate it, Emily. Good luck to you. We got Brando saying Champs is playing real life Grand Theft Auto. We got
that was funny.
Nate Dogg in the house too. Nate Dogg also Brando, the best moderator. Eagles, Champs is coming back in. All right, guys. So having said all that,
you done carjacking Champs?
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Fifth.
Team Dan Quinn got. Were a lot of those pieces already there?
Say it again, Fifth. We couldn't hear you.
I said those pieces Dan Quinn got, were a lot of those guys already there?
Their defensive line, their defensive tackles were like
some of them.
Some of them were there.
I think half of them, a little bit over half of them, he brought into. You're talking about the last year with the Commanders? Yeah, I think he brought some cats in from, I believe so, right?
I say that because I saw a comment when 80 said it's not going to happen overnight, and somebody, Dan Quinn did it. So that's why I was asking how many pieces were actually new.
Now, he had 2 solid defensive tackles when he went there. They drafted the rookie quarterback. Their wide receiver room wasn't the best, Then this season, they had a good draft, went out, traded for Laramie Tunsil, I'm trying to say. So they've gotten the Eagles, the Redskins, the Commanders, whatever you want to call them, they've gotten better. They have gotten better. But one real thing in 1980 made me think about it when he's talking about it's been 30 years since we hoisted up a Lombardi. When we play the Eagles on that Thursday night, that game is not going to be won or lost that night. The outcome of that game is going to be the past of the last 3-4 years of the moves you've made, drafting, and moves you've cut people, signing people in free agency. So the scary part is that the outcome of that game is not going to be that night. It's going to be what's been done in the last few years. And we all know Eagles play chess, man, and we play Candyland in Dallas, man. So that's what's scary to me.
So this first game is in Philly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was here. Okay. It don't matter. It don't matter because we don't do good at home anyway.
What's up, Uncensored?
To answer your question, Washington.
I'm sorry.
They signed 26 free agents last year.
Bam. How many made the team?
And 20% of them were old Cowboy players. Dorrance Armstrong. Igwenabi. Dante Flower.
Arsenal, Badass, Tyler Badass, they signed.
Yeah.
20% of their free agent signings were former Cowboys. 26 total free agents signed.
Cool.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut anybody off. I was just curious about when we played here or there. I didn't know.
No, we good, man. We good.
No, good.
It's in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's a wrap.
I already had my topic spoke. Man.
That's really a wrap.
Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any topics? Anybody put in the comments? You got a question for us? Anybody on the panel got any questions?
I saw somebody say something. And I hate the question. What game do we think Dak gonna get hurt? I don't like stuff like that.
I don't like saying stuff like that, man. I mean, you don't wish injury upon anybody, man. But I think it's inevitable at this point that he'll get hurt. I don't wish it on him, unfortunately.
I had this conversation on another channel. I think it was with OG. I looked up and I'm like, are we in the Dallas Cowboy bubble? Because I looked up and I was like, how many quarterbacks missed playing time last year due to injury? And it was like 37 quarterbacks missed some time due to injury. and it's very rare that you get season-ending injuries. So it's highly likely that Dak is going to miss some time next year because the statistics say that you're going to get banged up at some point in the season. But season-ending injuries for quarterbacks is actually rare.
But
I don't think it'll be season. And I mean, knock wood. Of course not. You don't wish your injury on him, but I think it's almost guaranteed that he'll miss some time. Couple of 2-3 games. I think is almost guaranteed at this point.
Yeah,
With the
it's
history.
based off of statistics. It say you're gonna get a nick here and there and probably miss a
Yeah.
week or two.
My bad.
They have to really protect him. And then that's the case.
I have a question real quick. Do y'all trust the left tackle and the right tackle to protect Dak from getting hurt?
no way.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna wait and see what our new offensive coach can do with them.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a fair. Yeah.
I'm gonna see what they can do with Steele and Guyton before I just say right now that the quarterback has to do his part too, by not holding on to the ball forever. Shoddy has to do his part too by knowing that if they do got a weakness on the offensive line, what to do. I'm hoping that's the reason they got these new running backs to run when we need and pass when we need to. So a lot can factor into that. Even if you got a weak side, there's ways a good coach will know how to,
right.
For instance, handicap that. Savage, you was gonna say something when we was talking about Dak injuries. What was it?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's amazing. Like if Dallas ever loses their quarterback, we always pick in the top 10. But yet a team like the Steelers, Mike Tomlin can go through 5 quarterbacks and he still makes the playoffs. You know what I'm trying to say? It just seems like some team can plug another quarterback right in and not maybe have the exact same results, but they'll still make it on a wild card. We lose
coaching.
We're picking top 6, top 7. It just seems
Yeah.
like
It's
those teams aren't built around the quarterback. Steelers are built around their defense and run game. They've always been. So they can weather a quarterback going down. That's what Dallas needs to shift to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I was just about to say
The Ravens have been competitive forever off that defense.
So tying all this together with Dallas Cowboy 900, he said, "What will heavily determine this game, in y'all's opinion, on offense and defense regarding the Cowboys-Eagles Week 1 matchup?" I'll start with Uncensored first.
The trenches. Because you got to block Philly's defensive line and you got to stop Saquon Barkley. If you can't do those two, it doesn't matter what Dak does or Hurts or AJ Brown or any other receivers. If you can't stop the run and you can't protect, it's over.
Yeah.
What about you, Eshawn?
No, I agree. I mean, trenches both defensively and offensively. I mean, Saquon is obviously the one guy on the Eagles that our game plan has to be towards stopping him. If we can't stop the run, the game's curtains, the season's done. So, I just think. I mean, I think, and also, I mean, like to Uncensored's point, it's like Dak can do nothing if he doesn't have time to throw the football. So we could get on Dak all day long. But, I think the trenches on both offense and defense are absolutely what has to be rock solid. I think so. I'm with him. I'm in concurrence. So that's where I am too.
80.
Well, it's no mystery. That's the easiest question in the world. Look what won a Super Bowl last year. It was the trenches.
Right.
So that's it. I mean, there's no other way around it. We were ranked 31st last year in rushing defense. So we got to figure out how to clean that up. Trenches. That's what wins ball games. It makes everybody else's job so much easier. When Saquon didn't even get a touchdown last year. I mean, in the Super Bowl, he got what 50-something yards, 52 yards, and they still dominated. They still dominated and won that Super Bowl. Blew them out. Made them look like a high school team. Trenches did that on both sides of the ball. So when you fix that, it makes everybody else's job. It's a domino effect. I know I sound like a broken record, but that's it. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like I said, that was one of the easiest questions that you can answer. But it needs to be discussed. It needs to be talked about and reminded because that's what wins Super Bowls. If you look at past Super Bowl teams, look at their front four or front seven. Look at their front seven. Cowboys back in the day. I got to use them as an example. I mean, because that's the only examples that we got. You know, people say, "Oh, why you bringing up old days?" Well, hell, that's all we got. Shit, what else am I gonna bring up? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's all we got. I mean, what else? I can't just make up shit. That's what I got. I mean, shit. I'd rather talk about the Cowboys than somebody else. You know, I mean, we had the best offensive line in football. Hell, we had the best offensive line in football. Part two with Travis Fredericks and Romo, those guys. So we saw how impactful Zeke and Dak were their rookie seasons. Rookies, guys. Rookies. They were rookies, guys. Rookie of the year and runner up. So we see how powerful that is. That up front is. And once you get that man rolling, I don't care if they're in the huddle with you. They can't, just like Jordan's fadeaway. He back you in, you can't stop it. I'm sorry, you just can't.
Yeah.
Fifth quarter.
You heard me?
No.
I said experience.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Experience gonna play a big part in it.
That's a good point.
Philly got a lot of guys that been around a long time.
Yep.
It took years to build that team. We rebuilt a whole new team. See, only thing Philly do is do upgrades on the house. You know what I'm saying? They put hardwood floors in the bathroom. We built the whole house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good point.
Philly just add on. The house already built and paid for.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a lot of experience. It's not just about the player being good. You got to have experience. We saw what Zeke did when he first came in. He was fumbling. We had to put Alfred Morris in because Alfred Morris had experience. Was he better than Zeke? No, but he had experience in that red zone. Zeke was fumbling. They took him out the game.
Mm-hmm.
You put anybody else in Jalen Hurts' position and they shut down Saquon, they not winning that Super Bowl. When they shut down Saquon, Jalen Hurts' experience with that defense did what they needed to do. So it's going to be experience, man. Philly got a lot of it, and it's going to play on against our rookies, man. It's going to be tough. I'm going to go with experience, man, because I just think when you've been there a few times, you won one, you lost one, you won one. There's guys that was on all those teams, man, and, I just think experience is going to play a big, big factor in that game, man.
I agree.
Okay. Danny Savage.
Trenches, man, plain and simple. I mean, before the draft, Philadelphia had the best offensive line and the best defensive line in the NFL. And they went out and they drafted 3 more offensive linemen, and they went out and drafted 3 more defensive linemen. So it's like, they're playing chess, man, and our front office is playing with iPads.
That's true.
It's disgusting.
I can't believe Jerry did that dance in the war room, man.
Oh, Jesus!
I still haven't seen that dance y'all talking about.
Man, like he was thrusting.
Yeah, he was thrusting. It was no dance. He was giving it one of those. I
gotta look. I gotta see if I can find it.
No, man, it was really
Cowboys
funny.
champs. What do you think?
Okay. The Cowboys offensive line with Smith, Cooper. I'm sorry. Smith, BB, and hopefully Booker. They should help out the running game. But my concern is still with the ends. On defensive line, man, everybody is too light in the ass. Both the defensive ends going to be less than about 2.250. The defensive tackle position, 280 or less. I know they drafted those 2 big defensive tackles, but they was in the 7th round. Like Phil Quarter said, experience. We don't. Cowboys did not pick up. I know they got that Solomon Thomas guy too, but I don't know if that's going to work out as well. I don't know how well he's going to do with Eberflus scheme. But whatever. But the main thing is, Eagles with the wall of turds they got, they're gonna run all over the Cowboys right up the middle because the Cowboys too light and ass.
Right. Yeah. And that could be, that's what I've been thinking this whole time is we have to stop Saquon, right? If you go watch that Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts made the plays he needed to make with Saquon being limited, right? So how does Trayvon Diggs hold up? How does Deron Bland hold up? Rebel, how does he look? Can they contain that while, Donovan and Micah go try to get those sacks to go get them? I think Overshown's going to be completely missed in this game, week 1. I think Overshown's presence is going to be really missed. But we got to look at Kenneth Murray, our linebacker that we traded for Tennessee. We got to look at Maris Luafau, that rookie got last year coming into his second year. And then Shamir James, is that who we traded for, that linebacker in the draft we moved up for? What's his name? Shamir James, a little smaller linebacker guy. Like the linebacker depth, like we could talk trenches, but can our injured corners come out and play? And can our inexperienced linebackers learning a new system come out and play? There's a lot of what ifs to this. There's a lot of people, like fifth quarter said, they're remodeling the house. We're starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to find the right 2x4. We got to measure twice and cut once.
I've been saying that.
That's what we got to do. We got to measure twice and cut once with the same tape measure. Mike McCarthy used 3 different tape measures when he went to cutting.
Right.
100%. The problem was
100%.
one was metric and one was imperial.
Yeah.
And one was clock management.
The Chicago linebacker we got nice size to him. He's like 250.
Oh, Sanborn, Jack Sanborn.
Yeah. But it's it's scary when your linebackers and your ends both weigh the same weight. I don't like that.
How big is he?
He's close to 250. He's like 240.
250.
Yeah. See, Donovan, how do you say his last name? Izak?
No idea.
I have no clue.
Ezraku, I've heard.
Ezraku, there it is.
What I've heard.
Easy.
He has good ability to go get the quarterback. The problem is his size. It's like we drafted an Overshown 2.0. That's the only downfall to this. Now, if he comes out and shows out, I don't know. Do you trade Micah Parsons if he has 6 sacks by week 4?
What's his exact height and weight?
6'2", 250.
That's
he's 6'2"?
I don't think he's 250, but I'm
me neither.
Him
Me neither. He's
they said I was 5'11", and
exactly.
So
he's probably like 250 with both pockets for quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, more likely like 235-ish.
Nah, he looked like he about 235, 236, maybe 240. I'm serious, man. I'm like I said, I'm not being a jerk or anything, man, but he looked like a safety. He looked like a safety to me.
This marker has bigger legs than he does. His legs, I swear to God. And like I said, I was pissed. I had 5 edges on the board. That was 6'5", 260.
Ooh,
man.
Good news is he's 27 pounds heavier than Overshown.
Okay.
So that is positive. Overshown's 220. He's 247.
A lot of times, and I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
A lot of times, and I've seen it firsthand. You gotta have really, really good tech. I remember y'all remember Mark Stepnoski. They used to call him Dalton, our center for the Cowboys. He was undersized, but he had great technique. He had really, really good technique, and he was strong as well, so he could play that position. That guy, I hope he got some damn good technique because he's gonna need it going against those big guys. Because the Philadelphia Eagles, all their interior guys are the right size and weight they should be. We got all these hybrid. It's like ever since Dan Quinn came along and left, we still kind of going with this hybrid, guys that can play multiple positions and stuff. But you got to be careful when you do that because you got that Honda on the rough terrain. This is how these guys stay hurt. You got to worry about injuries because they're using limbs and stuff that are not built and geared for what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish. So you gotta kind of factor that in there, and then you're gonna start seeing some injuries once again, some injuries because shit, these guys are undersized, man, and they playing a big man's game up front and up front seven, front four, front seven. Come on, dog. I done seen it before.
Yeah,
and Eagles left tackle is probably one of the best left tackles in the NFL. The kid Jordan Mailata, and he's humongous. He's huge. He's a former.
They got some coaching to do with these guys. They got some real gritty coaching to do to get these guys mentally and physically ready to go up against that line, that front seven week one. Week one?
Hey,
Week one.
I got a question for the panel. So last year they had what's his name as the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. The years before that, y'all remember that the offense couldn't get their act together. Kellen Moore came in and was able to get these guys on track, but Kellen Moore is gone now. Do you think that they get back to having problems with the flow from game to game with a new offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think when you have a running back like Saquon Barkley who can stay healthy, I think it's hard to mess it up. I really do. I think Saquon bailed out Kellen Moore, and we know for a fact Saquon bailed out Jalen Hurts. Because if you look at those teams, it was just a collapse because they didn't have that type of running game, so it was all on Jalen Hurts' shoulder. So when a back like Saquon comes in, he cleared it up, and that took a lot of weight off Jalen's shoulders, and that's why he was able to play the way he played in that Super Bowl. You look at the first Super Bowl that they lost, he had a fumble because he was scrambling, right? There was just things in there where Jalen had to put the weight of the world on his shoulders to go try to make plays. And then they followed up with the big season collapse, and then they followed up with another Super Bowl appearance with who? Saquon Barkley. So I think with a guy like Saquon, it's hard to mess it up. A healthy Saquon, you can't mess it up.
So you're saying talent it has to override coaching, pretty much.
100%. Now Nick Sirianni, as much as I hate that goofy looking bastard, I give him props because he got this team there. He lost it, and he got back and he won it. But I think Saquon Barkley helped because we know what Kellen Moore is. Kellen Moore just ain't going to change but going to the Chargers for 1 year and then going to the Eagles and win the Super Bowl. That was Saquon Barkley. We know Kellen Moore. And if you look at the Eagles at the front of the season, go search Twitter. Eagle fans were having Kellen Moore's head. This is what we got. This is bullshit.
I didn't know that.
Saquon Barkley came and cleaned this up.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Didn't Jason Garrett get coach of the year 1 year?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, 2016.
When you got running back.
I knew Fifth was going to, See, that's why I said go ahead.
No, I agree, Corner.
I wonder who's their backup. Who's Philly's backup?
The backup.
Backup what?
Backup running back.
I'll find out.
I don't see Saquon staying healthy for 17 games. I don't.
How old is Saquon?
Shit, I mean like 26?
29.
Yeah,
I think he's 29.
He's 29?
Maybe because he's been around for.
He's been in the league at least.
He's 28.
Years.
He's 28.
So he should be going downhill. Well, hell, we thought that.
Well, he don't have a lot of miles on him because he's been hurt.
He like LeBron James, spent $1 million on his body.
God.
I mean, I think with the offensive line they have there, I mean, he could probably play for another 2-3 years. Who knows, man? The offensive line is not as awful as the Giants were. So
the dude get hot and cold treatments like it's in season. He get them year round.
Yeah.
Will Shipley is the backup, and then AJ Dillon is behind Will as far as the backup running backs.
His diet don't change. He just got Derrick. His shelf just became Derrick Henry's shelf.
Oh,
yeah.
He has good genetics though too. His uncle was a middleweight champion boxer. Iran Barkley. That's his uncle, man.
Man, stay in top shape, man. Saquon, like I said, You catch him in a hot tub year round. Diet don't change. Only eat meat 3 times a week.
He seemed like the type. That's good for him, but ain't good for us.
Right.
right.
So we got Cool Cowboy in the
it-
house. Better late than never. Cool Cowboy, what was your reaction to week 1? And then we're going to go over the schedule. And we're going to get the heck out of here. I can't go live like Preacher Fifth. I can't go live long like Preacher Fifth. So, Cowboy, what was your reaction? Then we're going to go through the schedule and do our final thoughts and get out of here. Go ahead, Cool.
Oh man, dude, what a tough game to get week 1. I'd not like to see that, bro, because I feel like we always start slow in the first 2 weeks or so. I wanted to face a bad team. You know what I mean? To warm up and get ready, but we have to face the defending champs. But the only good news about this is this will kind of give us a measuring stick to see how we are, because we are facing probably the best team in the NFL. We'll be able to see our new look defense, because we had a lot of turnover on that side of the ball. We'll see if they'll actually be able to stop the run, which they probably won't, but we'll see if they'll be able to. And we'll see how Dak Prescott looks after the injury, because he didn't. If you guys remember, he was really, really bad last year. He had he threw a pick every game, bad in the red zone. But with all these new pieces around him on the offense, hopefully it won't be as bad. But I don't know. We'll find out though how it goes week 1.
All right. So we know week 1, guys. All right. I'm going to go down the list here. I'm not writing this down. Who wants to write it down for me? I don't have a pen.
Me either.
Neither do I.
I got me some handy dandy. Let me go find a pen. I'm going to go write this down. Look at this. Got me some.
I'll let y'all have this one.
Oh, let me get my knife here. Open this baby up.
Hey, I'm
When's
looking at the
the
predictions,
schedule? The schedule come out in 2 days.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
They already leaked like half the games, bro. If you look at the NFL, they leaked so many games already. I don't know what the point of them even doing it on Wednesday.
They leaked the games out for these 4-letter networks to be able to talk.
Yeah.
So they got something to
after
talk
the
about.
draft, there ain't nothing to talk about.
Yeah, this is just giving ESPN and FS1 and all of them something to talk about for the next 2 days.
Yep.
Look at these little things. These little notepad, dude.
The little notepads.
Look at the little starter. Then we're gonna pay out right back.
Bro, no joke, man. I used to have a boss, man, and no matter how many things I did, she was a female too. They called her the Dragon Lady, man. She was hated. I would come in the next day and I would see 50 of those notes of more things. It didn't matter how much I did. I would see 50 of those tickets. I'm like, I hate those things.
50 look tired, man.
I was about to say.
Yeah, Fifth looks real tired.
He had a long sermon the other day.
All right. I want to do this differently. I want to go home opponents and then away opponents. That's how we're going to build this up. All right. So home opponents, Giants. Can we beat them at AT&T?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, I say so.
Yeah. I think we're going to win at home.
So the majority consensus. What the hell was that? The majority consensus is a win at home for the Giants. There. Okay. All right. Let me pull up Mike's super chat here since we're doing this. Where was it? Was this it? No.
I heard.
I think the Chiefs always play the 8:00 game on Thanksgiving.
Here we go. All right, home game. Eagles. Can we beat the Eagles at AT&T?
That's a tough one, man.
Probably not.
I don't see it. Unfortunately,
I think it'll depend on how this week 1 goes.
Hey, I need Sports Junkie here for a tiebreaker. All right, that's a loss. All right, here we go. Commanders at home. Can we beat them at AT&T?
Yeah,
we can get that.
We can beat them.
I think so.
Okay. Packers at home.
Hell no, man.
No, we always lose to them.
We're gonna get beaten to shit by them.
Chiefs at AT&T.
Can I interject real quick? Just real quick. I'm sorry. Before we start this, I think maybe Uncensored might know this. Our injuries. Who's still be out and who's gonna be back?
Right.
Kickoff.
Overshown.
The Overshown Diggs is out. I think that's it as far as the long term that's going to linger into training camp. Everybody else should be back.
Dick
What
should be
about
back.
Sam Williams?
Sam
He'll
Williams
be
should be
back.
back.
He'll be back.
I
Okay.
think he's actually going to be back towards the end of mini camps, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that'll kind of determine what you guys are gonna this topic right here. Okay,
He's
Appreciate
good for your. You'll get your 2 penalties a game from him.
Yeah.
right.
Him running into
That's
the
true.
kickers
No,
up and shit.
but he's a free agent this season. You might see a completely new Sam Williams. It
And-
happens
That's
a
true,
lot.
That's true. That's
Yep,
true.
that's true too.
That's true.
All right, Chiefs at home.
Hell
Alright,
no.
my
We're gonna
bad.
get
No,
smacked.
no.
We're gonna get
I
smacked.
don't
Chiefs
see
at
it.
AT&T.
I don't
Nah,
see
man.
it.
I think it's gonna be a.
All right. Chargers at AT&T.
That's a win.
That's a
I think we
That's a
can
win.
win.
I think we can win that one. Okay.
Chargers
Vikings
defense got really bad
AT&T.
this year.
Vikings is a toss up. That's a toss up for me.
I'm gonna say yeah.
I think you're going to take the Vikings.
I think we're
Okay.
gonna win. They don't- Yeah.
Sure.
Their
All
skill
right.
positions are nasty, man. Nasty.
Yeah, they gotta have a quarterback though. You believe in McCarthy?
Not yet. I haven't seen him play since
All
college.
right. Cardinals. Cardinals at
No,
AT&T.
we're
Kyler
not
Murray
gonna-
undefeated at
That-
AT&T.
that's a-
Yeah,
that's
no,
a
they
loss.
always beat us, no matter how good or bad they are.
All right.
Yeah,
so
that-
at
that's
home,
a
we're
loss.
going 500 at home.
I'm gonna say
That's the trap game.
What do you say?
I'm gonna say we beat the Cardinals.
Really?
Okay,
Okay,
I
wow.
say we beat the Cardinals. That's 2. I think we're still.
Marvin Harris.
Last time we played the Cardinals, they played with Space Cadet dogs and smashed us. I got
Yeah.
no faith.
Beat 'em.
I have no faith.
Yeah, Kyler Murray's undefeated in AT&T Stadium too.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison's going to go off.
So I think we're still outnumbered 5th. The majority consensus say
80,
we're
80 you got to
4-4.
make a pick. You got to make a pick to break the tie.
I can't. Y'all know I don't. Can't do that.
All right, here we go. Away games. Okay, we're 4-4 at home. Giants away.
I think we can win.
I think we're going to split.
We gonna
I-
split. We'll get over to
Split.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
I agree.
That's fair.
Eagles. Well, that's a week 1 matchup.
That's
Yeah.
a no.
That's
I
tough.
don't think
No,
they're gonna be.
I don't
we're
think
gonna
so.
be ready.
We smashing them boys, man.
I just don't. I
Who's
don't
with
think they're
me?
going. I don't think they're going to play
I can't, man.
preseason. I don't think they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get beaten the shit.
I
out
wish it was in the middle of the season, bro.
No,
Okay.
because we'd be more injured by then.
Commanders.
That's a
Away.
loss.
That's a
Loss
win. I
away.
think that's a lot.
Well, yeah, we can't. We're not gonna sweep them. I don't think we'll beat them at home, but not our way.
I got to win.
You got a
Who's
sweep.
with me?
You got us winning against the Commanders. I don't know what
Oh,
that means.
absolutely.
A sweep.
Oh, yeah. Rookie hangover.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Jaden
Okay.
Daniels going to tear it up in a bad way.
Mhm.
Oh Lord.
I hope you're right.
All right.
Honestly.
Well, I'm outvoted, so we're 0-3 on the road so far. The Bears.
Yeah, I can see it being a win.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
think we
win.
can win that one. Honestly,
Yeah, we can win that.
Broncos.
Loss.
no, I don't see us winning.
It's been
Lions.
damn near half a century
Loss.
for the Broncos.
No, we're not winning against the Lions.
Right.
Raiders.
Whoa! The Lions got 2 new offensive coordinators. I mean, offense and defensive coordinator. I don't know about that yet.
Man, we not.
I don't think we're gonna beat
They
them.
still had a good draft, bro.
Yeah,
And
They have a good roster though.
their trenches are solid, both sides.
All right. I was playing devil's advocate.
I'm writing down pre-schedule here. I'm going to save this. All right, here we go. All right, that was Raiders.
Raiders, I think we can win.
Trap game.
That's a toss up for me, man.
Trap
I
game.
think we can win that one.
Y'all
They have
can run it
Geno
down
Smith.
the-
He ain't very good.
I think we can
We
beat the
made
Raiders.
Geno Smith look great a year ago.
That's 2.
Yeah.
That's
No, but
Trap
Geno
game.
Smith, he always has like a few games where he looked really bad though.
I think they're gonna win, but I'm marking that down as trap game.
There's 3.
That's a-
Okay,
yeah, that's a
so
tough
we got to win against the Raiders. Okay. Jets.
Win.
Win.
We should win that.
Panthers.
We lose to the Jets.
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panthers could also be a win.
All right, so our road game is 4-5. So we're 8-9 according to you guys.
That's
Yeah, that's
about
right.
what everybody.
That's probably
predicted.
a realistic scenario.
Yeah.
Vegas over under has us at 8 games.
I had us at 7 because I think we're gonna get a trap game to the Raiders, but that puts
You
us
always
right
have to
where we are.
factor in we'll always lose one game that we should win, so you got to keep that into consideration too.
Then I guess we have the same record as this year.
Hey, what's up, man? Why you
Your face is making me laugh, man.
That's why I was gonna say that. I was gonna say he might not be making predictions, but he can't lie with his face.
I think that game will end up being that Raiders game, probably.
You know what's going to kill us this year, and it's a phrase that's been said a million times. A good big man beats a good little man, and those teams that have gone up, their trenches on both sides are humongous, man. And Dallas loves their 6'2", 245-pound edges. We said we were going to go get bigger, and then the draft picks it just didn't make sense to me. It just didn't.
Mm.
It just
You know what Colonel Sanders said?
Mm.
Drunk to taste this chicken.
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right.
All right,
Hey,
here we go.
hey,
I got a
Uncensored,
question.
what's your last thought? Oh, go ahead, 1980.
I got a question. Here, this might be for uncensored again. How young are we?
say that again. Sorry.
How young are we? This team.
Very young.
Like the
Yeah,
average age, you mean?
the
Man.
last 2 years we've had decent turnover getting young. Let me
Okay.
check that out right quick.
We got the reason I asked, we got to factor that in too. Like Fitz said, I think earlier, inexperience is going to play a factor in penalties.
We are the
Uh,
second youngest team in the
That's
NFL.
Yeah,
That's
when
a
we
good
played
point.
Green Bay was the youngest, and we were the
Yeah.
second youngest.
penalties are penalties.
Who they 30
Oh,
beside Dak?
I think
The
Dak.
aver-
Well, Dak is the oldest. I think, right? At this point, he is the oldest. I think.
Brian Anger is 36. He's the oldest
Okay.
punter.
He don't count.
Yeah. Yeah.
Donald Wilson is 30, and Dak Prescott is
How old
31.
Malik
Those are the three others.
Dak Prescott will be 32 this July, right? So I mean,
Malik Hooker's like 27, 28.
so
Yeah.
we're fairly young.
About
yeah,
But,
Dante
we're
Fowler
fairly young.
all
We're
time.
at we're
That is
average
a good
we're
point,
at
though. I like that.
average age is 26 years old.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about
so
right.
that's fairly young.
So we have to factor in, like I always say, penalties will beat you faster than the other team. So we got to factor youth. Just like when you add your child on your car insurance, your insurance goes skyrocket, goes sky
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be, hopefully not. I hope I'm wrong, but those are things we got to factor into.
But
Yep.
real quick, 1980. Don't you think also lax coaching leads to a lot of penalties? Because it seems like the last 10 years,
Absolutely.
no matter
Absolutely, I
what
think
coach
so.
we've had, we've led the league in penalties like for the last 10 years almost.
Yep, that is a good point. It is, yep, because Jimmy Johnson. Well, then here I go again. Jimmy Johnson. I can't help it, man. When we had young players then, but he just knew how to make them so afraid to make a mistake or whatever. So yeah, that's 100%.
I said that earlier. You have to be afraid of your head coach.
Yeah.
My 2 cents.
Absolutely.
No one's afraid of Schottenheimer, guys. Let's be honest.
Didn't we lead the league? Weren't we like top 5? And
4 years in a row.
5 years in a row.
For like the last 10 years, man. It's been
wow.
bad.
That's so. It has
That's
to be
what's-
higher than the coach. Then
That's
It's
why I
us,
keep
the
saying.
Raiders,
That's
the
why
Browns.
I keep saying we're like an expansion team because we got all these new. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a crazy year, but we'll see. I may be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong.
Well, my
Hey,
biggest problem with the penalties is that I hate I can deal with effort penalties. Like if you
Yeah.
tackling a guy and you get high and you get a face
Yes.
mask, you can deal with something like that. But these pre-snap and these hit out of bounds, these personal foul penalties are inexcusable. I can
Yeah.
deal with effort. If you go to tackle the guy and you go too low or something like that, I can deal with those because you were there. The play was made. You just got to work on your technique a little bit. But the
Yep.
false starts are ridiculous on this team, offense
I
and
agree.
defense.
but you see, that goes back to practice too, because the only way to get better on tackling is to actually practice tackling. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
That's that. Oh shit! That's why they need to play a little bit in the preseason
It's preseason.
to
Yeah.
go ahead and get in a rhythm And, so they can be ready because these first, with the Cowboys, the first couple of games are like our preseason games.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I'm gonna say my last corner. You gonna close it out?
Yeah, we're about to close it out. I don't even know if I got time for final thoughts now. But keep it under a minute. Final thoughts. Go ahead, Uncensored.
I'm a little excited for the season, but it's hard for me to get my hopes and dreams wrapped up in this team. Like last season kind of just sucked all the joy out of football for me a little bit. Linking up with you guys have made it at least entertaining for me. But if they don't play in the preseason, I don't see them winning get week 1. I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm. All right, Eshawn.
No, man, I'm with Uncensored, man. I mean, as far as my thoughts, I can't say I'm not excited for the season. I'm curious about the season. That's the way I would put it. We'll see how the season plays out, man. It's a complete blank slate, like we've all been talking, but let's see how it plays out, man. That's I guess where none of us know how it's going to play out. So we'll find out very soon.
Yeah, 1980.
I'm a spectator this year. Fly on the wall.
Yep.
We'll see. Yeah, that's it.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Fifth quarter Cowboys.
Man, another season. Here we go, man. I
myself fast.
We've been right. I was in my mid-late 20s. I'm mid-30s now, man. And I've been knowing y'all that long, man. And I think
crazy.
This 80 like the third crib since how long we've been kicking it. And we
about to be four. About to be.
And we just still here doing the same thing, nothing changed,
Damn.
nothing. So here we go again, man. Another season, y'all. Here we go.
Yeah.
Danny Savage.
Damn.
After the draft and the trade we made, I'm gonna say honestly, bumped it up to like maybe 6 and 11. I just don't see it, man. It seems like every year it's same circus, different clowns. There's no continuity. How do you draft on a team when every single year you have a new head coach or you have a new defensive coordinators? Like it's going to take a good DC. It's going to take him 3 years to get the guys he wants. Yet we've had 3 DCs in the last 3 years. So it's like, we're going into the season with our secondary looking like a mash unit. But let's be honest, man. Our secondary is going to get torched the first few games. And we go out, we draft some ends, just small. I go back to the big man, beats a good little man, man. I'm going like 6 and 11, man.
Okay. All right. Cool Cowboy. Better late than never. What's your final thoughts under a minute?
Honestly, I just hope these guys prove us wrong, although I don't think they will. I just want to be proven wrong for once. Well, I'm sure we all do. Like we always we're not asking for a lot here. We're just asking for things to get better. I understand we're in a rebuilding phase, so I just hope they show us some progress at least. And next year, draft well, keep going. Hopefully we get a new quarterback next year and develop him. And yeah, that's about it. As for this season, though, I don't think it's going to be a good season, but we'll see.
Yeah, 100%. Want to thank Mike for all the super chats. Brando, the best moderator of the game, and everybody else in the comments section. Retro Scotty, I see you as well. Want to thank Uncensored Eshad, 1980, fifth quarter Cowboys, Danny Savage, Cowboys champs, and Cool Cowboys for coming on talking crazy on the corner of crazy and Cowboys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Cowboy Nation, are you in the Cowboys corner? Peace.
Take care, guys.
Take care, man.